Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk show. We haven't done these for a while, but the news has been coming out already. Chelsea are making transfers, and the rumour mill will start to flow once more. And we've got a couple of Villa players that are linked to Aston Villa, and a couple that are at Villa currently who we should be looking to sign, or certainly in my opinion. So we'll get right into it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help us on the road to 6,000 subscribers. And also stay tuned to the end to find out how you can win a copy of this fantastic book, Only the Real Thing, Aston Villa and the Coca-Cola Cup, 93 to 96 by Ivan McDowell. He's given us a copy of this to give away on the channel. So find out how you can win a copy by staying till the end. So let's get into it. First of all, Marco Asensio. I mean, what a loan signing he has been since he's joined Aston Villa. 7 goals already since his arrival in the January window. And he's linked up with Marcus Rashford fantastically well. And scored in the Premier League, scored in the FA Cup, and scored in the Champions League. And he could be that real jewel in the crown of Villa's Champions League run against Paris Saint-Germain in the quarterfinals. Hopefully propel us to the FA Cup semi-final and beyond as well. So he is a fantastic signing for us. And we are apparently in talks to sign him on a permanent deal. Paris Saint-Germain open to that idea. Aston Villa open to that idea. And it's looking like around 15 million euros, 12 million pounds to make that signing permanent. Now, there's probably a few things to this. On the face of it, it looks like an absolute no-brainer. A player of his quality, a player of his caliber, a player that is making such an impact. However, is that a little bit to do with, a new club hitting the ground running? What would happen if and when he does sign? Will he be able to maintain that level of performance? Will he be able to maintain that level of fitness? Now, John McGinn, I think, was interviewed and said he hasn't even got to his full fitness level yet. So that is a really encouraging sign, because if and when he does, what type of player is he going to be then? Now, to me, for the price, for the caliber, for the kudos of signing a player, I think it has to be done if we can get it done. But I also think that we need to make sure that it doesn't become like the Philippe Coutinho situation, where we sign this player on the back of, 5 or 6, 7 really, really good games, and then he drops off, and then he gets injured, and then we're kind of carrying a player on high wages for, not getting the value that we maybe needed to. So this one, I think, is a little bit different. This one, I think Unai Emery has tracked him for a number of years. He's obviously kept tabs on him. He's obviously playing him in his favourite position, and how he's making the other players around him so much better as well. I think this one has a lot more longevity to it, but it is something to be wary of with the fact of, look, yes, he can come in on this time, and if he brings us a trophy, if he brings us glory, then absolutely wonderful. Then I think we would have to sign him for that. But there also has to be tinged with some kind of caution as to, what happens if those things don't happen. Do we still go ahead and sign him? Because he could be a very expensive player to kind of keep on your books if, again, becomes inconsistent, or he becomes injured. So, look, that's the gamble you have with any player. But I think the level of Asensio, we need to make sure that we maintain those standards. But for me, I think at the moment it's an absolute no-brainer. I mean, the impact he's had is just incredible. So let's see if we can get this over the line. £12 million, I think, would be an absolute steal, and he would bring so much more kudos to the club. So let's see how that goes. Now, there is talk, obviously, John Durant has gone. We know that in January. There is also talk of maybe 1 or 2 of the kind of more established Aston Villa players moving out, possibly Ollie Watkins, and the striker, the talk of forwards, the talk of strikers, whether we keep Ollie Watkins is still there with Aston Villa. And Dusan Vlahovic was linked today again with Aston Villa, the Juventus striker, also linked with Everton, also linked with Tottenham. So his name is going to do the rounds yet again over this pre-season. I'm sure once the season finishes, has played 97 times for Juventus since 2022 and scored 42 goals. He's a Serbian international with 32 caps, scoring 13 goals so far. And look, he is a true box striker. You know, if we're talking about forwards that don't necessarily get too involved in the play, then he is the man. If you look at his heat map here, I mean, not really involved in the play too much at all, but does know where the goal is. 9 goals already this season. Only started 17 games, so has maybe had a bit more of an injury hit season. 8 goals from inside the box. As I said there, a real player that comes alive in the box. All nine with his left foot, so heavily one-footed, and 1 goal from outside the box. 1 assist so far and 1 big chance created. Has he missed big chances? Yes, he has. 13 big chances missed. So, look, if we're after someone who's going to frustrate and score in equal measure, much like Ollie Watkins, then maybe Vlahovic is the man. Now, would he be a good signing? Yes, I'm sure he would. Is he exactly what we need? Would he be able to adapt to the Premier League? Who knows on that one? 25 years of age is a very good age, but he's been linked with a number of clubs over the last few years and hasn't come to the Premier League yet. So would Aston Villa be that option for him? Would we be the club that would take a punt on him and bring him in? Because he has got a lot of pedigree. He has been wanted by numerous clubs, but as yet he hasn't taken the opportunity, or they haven't taken the opportunity to sign him. So that would be an interesting one. But I do potentially see something of that ilk happening in the Premier League. Whether that's with Aston Villa, I don't know. Now, also, again, the link with Tammy Abraham has come, and this time it's him that wants to potentially sign for Aston Villa. He is apparently keen on joining Aston Villa. Well, who wouldn't be keen on joining Aston Villa? And we know he did fantastically well for us in the Championship, got us promotion, 6'4" striker. Obviously scored 25 goals in 37 games in that league campaign with Aston Villa. Has been at Roma, where he featured 84 times, scoring 26 goals, and is now on loan at AC Milan, where he scored 2 league goals in 23 games. So it hasn't necessarily been the best of starts for him. He has 11 caps for England and has scored 3 goals. He's 27 years of age now, so a real key time for Tammy Abraham, and maybe that ship has sailed with him at the moment, and I don't think he would be the level of striker. I mean, not being really big-headed, but I don't think he's the level of striker for Aston Villa at the moment and where we want to go and what we're doing right now. I mean, looking at his statistics, he hasn't started many games, only started 9 games out of 24, scored 2 goals in the league, both with his right foot and both inside the box, 3 assists, 5 big chances created. So he does get involved in the general play. But as I say, I mean, for me, he hasn't really done enough in Italian football as such. I know he's had a few injuries. I know he's had a bit of an injury hit time, but I think the ship has sailed with Tammy Abraham. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments on Tammy or Dusan Vlahovic. Are they names that are just get thrown around? Are they actually names that excite you? You know, are they going to improve the team? Definitely not Tammy Abraham, in my opinion. Dusan Vlahovic, maybe. But again, is he really going to improve us? The next one, this is a young player, Argentinian player, Santiago Castro, who is a striker or forward, who's currently at Bologna. Now, this probably is a little bit more exciting because 6-foot player, 20 years of age, has 8 goals in 36 appearances so far for Bologna, and is an Argentina under-20 international. So lots of potential here, and we know Bologna have done well to get into the Champions League this season. Didn't get through the group phase, but and Aston Villa obviously beat them in the group phase as well, 2-0. But I'm sure a number of their players will have been looked at and will be kind of assessed. And I think scouts have been out to watch him. Now, he could be one that's a little bit more of an exciting player, likes to get around the pitch. If you look at his heat map, gets involved in the play a little bit more than maybe the other strikers that we've apparently been looking at here. 25 starts out of 29, 8 goals, as I say, so not a bad return. 6 goals from inside the box, 2 from outside the box. As can score with his right foot and left foot and his head. 4 assists and 3 big chances created, 6 big chances missed. So gets involved in the play and also can put the ball in the back of the net as well. 79% in terms of passing accuracy, 90% in his own half, 81% accurate long balls as well. So a bit of a creator, can get involved in general play as well. 44% in terms of successful dribble. So quite an all-round player here, and maybe in the sort of ilk of an Emi Buendia type player. Maybe that's the sort of player that we're looking at here, maybe with a bit more of an eye for goal. Got that creativity, but maybe matches it with an eye for goal. And at 20 years of age, could be the ideal sort of player to come in, maybe to go out on loan for a season and then come in and challenge for a first team spot. But we're seeing, the scouting system working well for Aston Villa across Europe. We've seen Andres Garcia come in for an absolute bargain price and do really, really well so far since January. And we've seen other players do the same thing. So, Monchi and the scouts there do really look for players that can adapt and can learn Unai Emery's style of football and can really thrive. And finally, a young player from Cardiff called Troy Perrott. Apparently, Aston Villa have been watching him for a number of years now through the academy at Cardiff, and he's very, very highly rated. They're only 18 years of age, has been training with the first team already, hasn't made his debut yet because obviously Cardiff are fighting relegation. So if they do get a bit more safe, then maybe he will start to make his first team debut. But apparently he's of the ilk of an Aaron Ramsey in sort of the academy circles. We know how good he was. Maybe not quite as good now. He's gone back to Cardiff and obviously to see out his career. But we've had scouts watching him over a number of years and could be on the verge of signing him in the summer. And I would have thought bring him into our under-21s and develop him that way. And that could be, the next sort of conveyor belt of talent that we send out on loan, maybe give a little dabble of first team action to, and then sell off for bigger money if they don't come into the first team. So maybe one to watch out for in terms of a highly rated young player across the UK that we could be signing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Asensio, do we make the deal permanent? At the minute, it's a no-brainer, but maybe fast forward in 6 months. Put your mind 6 months ahead. Is it worth signing? Dusan Vlahovic, Tammy Abraham, Santiago Castro, what are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And finally, before we go, I said I would tell you how to have a chance of winning this fantastic book, Only the Real Thing. Well, go to our X handle at Villa Park Pod and follow the instructions in there. The tweet I've put out to win this book. All you need to do is like that tweet, retweet it, and reply with the hashtag WAFTV. We all follow the Villa. Make sure you do that and you could be in with a chance of winning, and we will announce the winner on our Fans Forum show live on Tuesday night. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with more shows next week. As I say, Fans Forum, Lions Den latest with Charlie, a.k.a. Academy AVFC, to talk about Aston Villa's victorious FA Youth Cup match the other night and all things youth team and these loan roundup as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll be back with more transfer talks in the week, I'm sure. Thank you all for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.